Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. In this video, we're going to talk about how anxiety can be your friend and can be an indicator that one of your manifestations is on the way and literally days away. I have found a pattern in my life, and I love sharing all of my experiences on my channel because I know that there's other people out there like me that connect with me, and we really all are children of the universe. We're all one. We're all the same. And we have to share our experiences with each other so we can help each other along the way. So what I have found in my wild ride of a life is that my anxiety, I'm actually an anxiety teacher / coach. I taught for 17 years in the classroom, and I specialized in nutrition, health and fitness. And then in my last 4 years, I dove into meditation, mindfulness, and anxiety counseling for my students that were in my classes. So they would be drawn to me. The universe was bringing me all of these students that struggled with anxiety. Like the first day of class, they would sit in there, and I had 30, juniors in high school, and they'd be sitting there, and I'd start bringing up anxiety and how I struggle and how I overcome it in the moment and the tools that I use. And 20 kids would raise their hands saying that they experienced anxiety in their life. And then I'd talk to another teacher, and they wouldn't have any kids in their class that really struggle with it. And this was back in 2017, 2018. Now it seems to be a lot worse because we're all awakening and we're more sensitive and we're feeling it. But there's some people that have just dealt with anxiety their whole life. And I got to be that teacher that could help so many kids understand how their anxiety could be their friend, and how it could be their soul talking to them, or how it could be them feeling somebody else's energy. So there's so many different things that your anxiety could be. But with manifesting, sometimes your soul is preparing you for change. Okay. So your soul knows that maybe you're about to get a new job. Maybe you're about to get a call back from an interview that you went on, or maybe you're about to get a big inheritance of money, or maybe you're about to start writing a book. And the week before, you're feeling a certain energy in your body. You're feeling scared, like something's coming, like something bad is coming. Well, sometimes it's just your psychic abilities that you're knowing that change is right around the corner. And guess what doesn't like change? Your little ego, the little subconscious part of your mind that likes to run all of your decisions. It likes to tell you the stories in your head that, you're never going to make enough money, or you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life, or whatever the story is that it's telling you. When you start to feel a little bit of that excitement, I like to label it as excitement, your ego quickly defines it. It's like, what's going on? We don't like change. We can't like change. Oh my gosh, no. And then it starts to panic, and then it creates a story around the feeling. That's where our anxiety kind of comes from. It's usually a thought. Sometimes it's a thought, and then a feeling follows the thought. But sometimes we have the feeling and we're like, wait, I wasn't even thinking about anything. Why am I having this right now? And knowing yourself so well to know the difference between the two, knowing from when you're causing your anxiety, or the anxiety is just here and you're like, what is it? And then you try to identify it. So you have to become really mindful, and you have to become really aware. And that's what I used to teach my students, was be like, okay, you have to ask yourself, did you just eat a lot of sugar? Because chemicals in our food can cause anxiety. Did you have a lot of caffeine today? That can also cause a late onset anxiety. So say you have 3 cups of caffeine that day, where normally you only have 1 or 2. Well, by 9 or 10 p.m., your body is finally processing all of that caffeine, and it can spin into cortisol release, which is the stress hormone, and you start to feel it in your body. And that's when your ego jumps in and tells you something bad's going to happen, but it's really just a chemical reaction in your body, and you could have avoided it. So being super aware of what you're eating, what you're absorbing, what you're thinking about, whether the feeling started first or whether the thought started first, these are all things you have to become aware of. But in this video, when we're talking about manifesting, when we're talking about anxiety related to that, this would be an anxiety that you're not thinking a thought, and it's just here. And you're like, why do I feel this way? And that's when you can get excited. That's when you can sit back and be like, Ooh, I remember Michelle told me about this. She told me that my soul kind of bounces in my body. I like to see it as your soul is shaking you and it's getting you ready because something good's coming. You might meet somebody new. A lot of times when you are meeting your soulmate for the first time or your twin flame or you're connecting with somebody, your body knows and it sends you signals and it gets you excited. But your mind, your ego, if you've been run by your ego your whole life and you're not aware of it, it's going to tell you to be scared instead of embracing the butterflies and feeling good. And you're like, oh my gosh, this feels alive. I finally feel like I'm awake and I'm excited to see somebody and I'm nervous around them. And it's a really yummy, delicious feeling, but our mind likes to tell us the opposite. And then we don't enjoy it. And then we run away from it and we self-sabotage. And then the universe is like, hello, I just brought you your dream person and you're not taking it. You're not taking the opportunity, you know? So our anxiety can be a lot of different things, but when you're manifesting, your body is 100% letting you know that it's coming, and you can sit with that and get excited. And I highly recommend journaling it. The only reason why I'm able to share this with you all is because there's been so many things that I've manifested in my life, and 2 or 3 days before, I would have the worst anxiety. So now when I have that same anxiety that I know it's not from food, I know it's not from my thoughts, I know it's not because I don't feel unsafe in my life, I know it's just me sitting on the couch at 10 p.m. at night and I have this fear and I'm like, okay, this isn't mine. I don't know what this is. Oh, the universe is preparing me for some kind of change. Now, what do we do to move through it? So I'm going to give you 3 tips on what you can do to help your anxiety. The first thing I want you to do is to tell your body that you're safe. Because when you have anxiety, your body thinks you're being chased by a tiger, and all the blood rushes to your hands and your feet because your body's like, run, you got to get out of here. We're about to die. So your body thinks that you are about to die. So we have to be aware that there's no tiger. We are not going to die. We're fine. So we have to hold our body, hand on our heart, hand on our belly. And I like to do 4-count breathing. I breathe in for 4 seconds, hold my breath for 4, breathe out for 4, and then I hold out for 4. And I repeat that as many times as I need until I feel all of the physical responses start to slow down. And if they don't slow down, I highly recommend this. I do palm pinching. So I'll sit there and I'll go, Michelle, you're safe. You're safe. You're safe. And I'll pinch slowly. And my focus is on my hand. I'm not thinking of any other thoughts than what I'm doing right now. You're safe. You're okay. Because one of the things with anxiety is we start to have it and then we panic because we don't know why it's here. And then we panic thinking we can't stop it. But when you tell your body, you are safe, there's no tiger, we're okay, we're going to be fine, then we breathe to physically slow it down. We do the palm pinching. If breathing doesn't work right away, go back to our breathing. And then once we get our body in a nice, relaxed state, then we ask ourselves the big questions. Why is this here? Is this mine? I don't think I was having any thoughts. Okay, this isn't mine. The next step, so the first step is telling your body that you're safe and you're okay. The second tip is to detach from it. Don't try and figure it out. Just say, okay, this is an energy that is moving through my body. It's 2022. We are energy. We are sensitive beings. And, maybe 10 years ago, you didn't know this about your body. You didn't know that we were energy and that we are drawn to certain things and we can pick up other people's energy. Maybe you picked up your family's energy before you went to bed, or maybe you didn't cleanse your aura before you got into bed. There's so many different things. So you detach from it and you say, I'm not going to try and figure this out. This is just an energy that's moving through my body. My body is sensitive and I'm just going to let it move through me. I'm not going to resist it and try and figure it out. Okay, so first step, tell your body you're safe. Second step, detach from it. The third step that I like to do is I like to really ask myself, how can I help myself? What can I do in this moment right now to shift me out of that energy from just having a little mini panic attack or anxiety attack? what can I go do? How can I physically take my body into a different environment, into a different state of being, whether it's journaling, taking a bath, going for a walk outside. If it's in the middle of the night, maybe put on the TV and put on a funny show. Okay, there's always a way to shift out of it. That happened to me, I believe it was, I'm trying to look at my calendar. It was March 4th. It was a Friday night around 10 p.m. I probably had the worst anxiety attack I've ever had in my life. And I've been dealing with anxiety for a really long time. After my daughter passed away in 2012, I really started to see that I had been anxious my whole life, but I didn't really understand it. Nobody labeled it. I'm 39 years old. So back then it wasn't really talked about. But after my daughter passed, wow, I started to feel everything. I was so sensitive. I was depressed. Every little thing affected me. But even now, 10 years later, after she's passed, I teach anxiety and I counsel people through it because I've been through it. You have to go through it to be able to understand it, to be able to share these messages. So I have dealt with it immensely in my life, but I just had a really bad one on March 4th. It was a Friday night around 10 p.m. So much fear. I just felt unsafe. And I think I was feeling everything that was going on in the world, but I was also, I think I just looked today before I filmed this video that a week later, guess what happened? I started to do my YouTube in a different way. I started to post manifesting videos where before I was just doing my card readings. So it was like my soul knew that I was about to attract a whole new type of community here. And I was bringing forth these messages, but I didn't know that I was going to be doing it just yet. So looking back, I think that Friday night when I had all that anxiety, I think I was being prepared. I was releasing any kind of gunk that was in my body. It came out through the anxiety, and it lasted from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. It was a really long time. And I just sat with it because it was like the energy of I'm supposed to be doing something with my life, but I don't know what it is. And that's how I know that, yes, something was coming. And it was something that I was going to create from the bottom of my heart that makes me feel good, which is posting on YouTube. So a week later, after my anxiety attack, I started growing my channel on YouTube. The universe started growing my channel. I didn't do anything to make this happen. And all of you watching, I love you so much. And I am so grateful for all of your comments. I try to get to every single one. I want you all to know that you are loved and you are protected, and life can be fun, even though we are going through struggle. I had somebody comment that saying that they were going to have a procedure later this month, and she was still really positive about it. And I was just like, yes, now that I think about it, I don't know if I responded to her. I apologize if I didn't respond to you, but I will anyway. It is so cool to see all of you taking your struggles and seeing the bright side and wanting to manifest and claiming all the videos, and you're worthy of having your desires. And that's why I'm here sharing this, because sometimes your anxiety makes you see it differently and it gets you scared. It makes you think that you're always going to be in your anxiety. And that's because your mind is either in the past or in the future, and it's not in the present moment. So when you're manifesting, we always need to be in this now moment. So when you catch yourself getting anxiety, you're going to calm yourself down, right? We're going to tell our body we're safe. We're going to do our 4-count breathing. We're going to palm pinch, going to detach from it. And then we're going to help ourselves by going and shifting out of it. And then we're going to get excited. I know I only said there was 3, but then we're going to get excited because now we know that sometimes anxiety comes right before a big breakthrough, right before your manifestation arrives. You are feeling that excitement. So anxiety can be your friend. It's preparing you for something good, and use those tools to move through it. Don't stay stuck in it. Don't try and figure out why it's here. Just let it be there. Say it's an energy moving through my body, and you can even cleanse yourself. You can sage, you can take a bath, do whatever you need to do. I feel really passionate in this video right now sharing this because I know so many people out there are struggling with anxiety. And if we shift our perspective, we can really shift how we feel, which can halt the anxiety and it can keep it at bay. All right. And I know that maybe some of you are like me. Maybe you're meant to experience it because you're going to help other people with it. I definitely know that I'm here helping all of you with it. So if I didn't have that anxiety attack on that Friday night, I wouldn't be doing this video. So sometimes it's here for us. And also, I just got a message. I'm an intuitive, and sometimes I get downloads. I just got a message that if somebody out there knows that you need to make a change in your life, and you're feeling the anxiety when you, like, at night when you go to bed, or maybe when you're driving or you're in the shower, those moments where it kind of like starts to get real and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to leave my job, or I need to leave my partnership. Sometimes the anxiety gets worse because your ego wants you to do it right now, and it wants to take control, and it's saying, well, you need to do this and da da da. But your soul is saying, tap the brakes. It's not time yet. You're not quite ready. We don't have another job lined up for you yet. You need to learn a little bit more in this partnership before you take the leap. Okay. So if you're feeling that anxiety, it's because your soul does know that there's change coming, but it might not be time yet. So when that's happening, you can sit there and say, I'm safe. I'm okay. I'll know when it's time. And here's another great message before I leave you all. Sorry, this is really long, but I feel like somebody needs to hear this. When you are about to make a big change in your life, it's a knowing. You wake up one day and you feel good about it. You're ready. Okay. You never want to leave something if you're feeling anxious. Because if you leave something, if you leave an environment, if you leave a partnership and you leave in a panicked state, you are then going to bring that panicked state to your next job, to your next partner. You're going to attract another partner who's going to treat you the same way that partner did. So you need to be whole. You need to be grounded. You need to feel good about your decision before you leave and transition. So the anxiety is not there to say, you need to do it now. You need to do it now. No, your soul would never scare you like that. If anything, it's excitement. It's saying, get ready, because in a few weeks, in a few months, you're going to be living a beautiful life and you just don't see it yet, but get excited and allow this energy to leave your body. Allow the old to move out. All right, I just got guided to stop talking. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it was different than my normal manifesting videos, but anxiety is 100% related to manifesting because we are intuitive beings and we know when something is coming. Okay? Utilize your knowing, trust it. And if you need help, please book a session with me. You can book an intuitive reading and I'll film myself pulling cards for you, talking about anxiety, and I will email it to your beautiful inbox. And then you can just sit there for 30 minutes and have me sharing these messages personally to you. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, and really comment below and tell me if this helped you. Tell me if you're suffering from anxiety and I will comment back and give you whatever advice you need. All right, lovies, sending you big, big love. Mwah.